Omar traveling to the other side to make sure all the lanes keep pushed in.
I mean, the other way to think about this is, let's say this Aegis expires 4 minutes from now and you don't go high ground. XG, WBG are going to be happy. Their buybacks are all up. They're continuing to find farm in the Morph lane. They did not get megas during this period. And the longer this game goes with this lead remaining static, the less meaning it holds. Is this game slipping away from Quest right now? Can they find the way to close it out?
XM and Shin-Q, that duo on the left side, they're looking for the jump. That is your team fight. Almost, I feel like it's like 90% of your team fight is just these two guys and the initiation that they can get.
And they see him. They see him on that ward.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they jump the Weaver even with the Aegis, because you have this refresher on the Shaker.
Yeah, the possibility there. Banner's going to be put down. They're going to go for the melee barracks in mid. TA2000 slow pushing it. BKB goes out, Noob looks for the toss back on the Brewmaster into the Ice Path with the charge in front of the Earthshaker as well, but the Earthshaker got in the Echo Slam, and that was good enough to do some damage, and they do manage to take out the SF on the side of PSG Quest. Just massive damage. Malik and TA2000 destroyed that one.
The cleave on this Elder Titan, that level 20 talent, absolutely decimated them. Just punched through the skull here of XG.
Omar goes for the kill though onto Malik. Malik has been troubled, so that's why he identifies the Elder Titan as the one to go for. Immediate buyback. XM's gonna let loose the Requiem, but most of PSG Quest managed to retreat. Now the charge back in from Omar. Meanwhile, on the side, Ice Path catching the SF. He's in trouble with the stomp in. Malik can finish him. One shot, one kill, easy for Malik, and now he goes for more. Running down XXS. You killed him once, you can't take him a second time though.
I mean, Ame solved his problem, but he did not solve the team's problem. As Malik gets there off that outpost TP, and that should finish up this game. No buybacks available for XG. They found glimmers of hope in these team fights, but ultimately just not enough firepower to take them down. Didn't even get through the Aegis, and Ame is going to get stapled here. As PSG Quest.
Elder Titan delivers the final blow in the game. Definitely the most interesting pickup for PSG Quest in this game. Fitting that it just stood out so much at the beginning of the game and at the end of it.
Really nice performance from Malik. I mean, he made that laning phase work. He bought really powerful items to scale into this game, ended up dealing some of the big blows in those later fights. He was the real problem. We saw Ame focus him down for a reason. He has this game 8-1 and 18 on an off-lane ET. Whew, that is insane. MVP for sure here as Quest make a statement with this game too. Some creativity, some pace from them, some aggression from TA2000, rotating through the gate, playing a very fast Weaver with a really good laning phase. And I think this draft for XG, WBG just, it felt really slow. Like, you have two melee supports who both take a little bit to get online. You have three cores who all need a lot of farm. You have an SF who, if you go back to that start of the game, got ganked 3 or 4 times and lost his tower. There were a lot of early game setbacks for them. They were able to draw it back, but a very slow early game for them, back to the drawing board. Yeah, the panel talked about it, how they kind of had multiple carries in this situation with an SF and a Morphling and a kind of greedy Brewmaster. The fact that there weren't any good range 4s left in that position, so they end up taking an Earthshaker. Just greed, greed, greed. And it does not pay off in this game for Extreme Gaming. And instead, it's PSG Quest that innovation leads the way for perhaps for both of these games as we go up on stage with Tsunami.
Thank you very much. I am joined by Omar of the PSG Quest. How does it feel, man? How does it feel to be back on land? It's been a little bit of a while. It's been a growing year for you, I have to imagine. But now you're back on stage. What's it like?
Feels really good. We've missed this a lot.
I can imagine, because I remember your basically coming out party was last year at Riyadh. It was so exciting to watch your guys' journey, hot off the heels of the Bally Major. But since then, it's been a quiet 2024 for you guys. So what's this whole process been like from January to now of, I suppose, fighting it out through the MENA region and eventually qualifying now here?
Yeah, Falcons were pretty good. Can't deny that. So yeah, we've had a rough year so far, but hopefully we'll get back on track and we'll make good results, hopefully.
The results that you showed here today showed you got a split against Liquid earlier, and you won this game too, and you won it off a very ballsy pick, I must say. Core Elder Titan. What was the talk like in the draft to make that a decision, and then you, as Malik's lane mate, to be like, sure, dude, if you think you can do it?
I mean, there's two stuff, in my opinion, to talk about. First of all, about the pick. They banned Doom and Enigma, which we were looking into both. So they banned them, and we had kind of needed to think outside the box, and we came up with an idea that Elder Titan was always a good hero to morph. Like at any stage of the game, you can manage to win if you just get on top of him and manage to kill him. Second one about the laning, I think Malik was doing better when I left him than we were playing 2v2. So I'm not sure about that. I think I need to ask him.
It's because you were creating space elsewhere. That's why, you know, you were lifting the pressure off of him. I have to imagine that had to do with it. Well, Omar, it's always exciting to get a chance to talk to you and play. Congratulations on the win, and best of luck in the rest of the group stage as we send it back to the panel.
It's great to hear from Tsunami and Omar there down at Kadir Arena. And Omar just talking about Malik there, how they knew that the Elder Titan was going to be that pickup for them as soon as they saw the morph come out, and he did so much damage, so much for them. There was a brief moment in this game which I thought maybe PSG Quest weren't going to be able to close it out, but the fact that they go 1-1 in a series against XG WBG is a massive accomplishment for them.
XMSF not looking so invincible after all. Turns out if you...
Especially when you blink into an Earth Splitter at the end.
Yeah, that was rough. He actually blinked into a charge first.
And then
the Earth Splitter interrupted the Requiem, so pretty much just the worst case scenario for things that can happen.
I would say that stems all the way back to the laning phase that XM had.
Yeah.
I thought maybe being on comfort, this could have been something a little bit better for him because he also had a really rough lane in game number 1, but it did not go that way at all. The fact that Malik, I feel, did so well as the off lane, he 1v2'd and allowed the supports to roam the way that they did.
Yeah, I'm definitely starting to believe you cannot play SF into Spearbreaker. We saw this a lot during the play-ins as well. You have to go this Jules, you don't really want it. He buys Shadowblade, then this Jules doesn't do anything for you. Throughout the whole game, he's just interrupting your combo. And in the early lane, we saw early game rather, Omar's just ganking him. He didn't even care about his lane. He just kept going mid, making sure XM had no game whatsoever. And somehow Malik just won the lane 1v2, which probably shouldn't happen, but more
probably not
laner. So
yeah, especially when Ogre is level 3 at level 2, which is hugely impactful.
Yeah.
In the laning stage.
That's what you thought. That's what you were preaching before this one.
Yeah, definitely.
You know he's level 4 at level 3.
He's actually he gets level 10 talent at level 9. It's really impressive stuff.
It's insane. It's just insane maths that we got going on. Let's look at some highlights though, VSJ. There are some specific moments within this game that you feel are noteworthy.
Yeah, so this is Quest pressuring the mid-tier 1, and this is just the tempo that some of these teams play at the professional level, and you're going to see that Noob here is going to kill the tower, and then he's going to quickly tuck himself behind the trees as to look like he's just going for the rune, and then he's going to instantly TP top. And this is going to catch XSS off guard, which is going to lead to the toss kill on the Brew, who's not quite level 6 yet. And this is the kind of stuff that you just, if you picture XXS's perspective there, you just can never imagine how quickly that's going to happen. And being able to push these timings and these limits is essential to capitalizing on the lead that Omar set him up to have with those early ganks.
Oh, well, look, because you're already talking, you can keep talking, because I believe the next highlight is also something that you wanted to have a chat about, VSJ. Actually, no, this was Fierce.
Yeah, this one's fine. This is kind of, we saw it in the earlier clip as well, where this Brewmaster kept getting tossed back in every single fight, and we just weren't getting any ultimates off from XSS in this game. He's just getting chain stunned over and over again, and this is the story of his life this game. He's in his base, he'll get tossed out, he'll get chain stunned, and then he will die, then you don't have this Brewmaster ult in the fights, and it just happened on repeat, to be honest.
So Dickens, where's your highlight?
I submitted one. It was neutral creep killing a guy again.
No, that's later. You're spoiling
That was literally game 1, man.
No, I wanted to highlight that both for the play of the day and then also for this highlight as well.
All right, well, look, you're not going to be able to do that right now. I do want to wrap up
We
talking
could
about...
skip to that.
No, we're not going to skip to
Fast
that.
forward.
We're gonna wrap up talking about
got one more
game
highlight.
number 2 because we did have one more highlight. I thought you might have been on top of it and you could have segued to it.
This is the one I picked.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was they chain stun him. The thing with the SF in this patch is that, especially with any sort of chain stun, you always have potential to take somebody down through BKB. The middle of that Requiem, man, it's way too much damage. You get a refresher, 1v5 team fights. There's always the threat there of winning the late game, but you know, you gotta pull off the combo. You can't get chain stunned by these BKB piercing stuns.
No, you can't at all. We are gonna
We
move.
skip to the neutral creep.
No, not yet. We got to do what is very important at the end of every series, and it's award our MVP. For us, it was tough. Game number 1 was a little bit rough on the side of PSG Quest, but we decided in game number 2, Malik, he was our MVP through and through. He had a phenomenal performance.
Yeah, well, we picked Phoenix as the icon because he was on fire with this
That's
Elder
true.
Titan, playing exceptionally well. Brian, you had something to say?
I said, well said.
Oh, I thought you were...
He was on fire.
I thought you were saying, well, saying that, you had a follow-up there, because I certainly don't. Just keep talking here. Yeah, I mean, the 1v2 in the lane was the big highlight for me. I said it while we were watching it, that I wouldn't trust a silver tier Elder Titan to play this hero, just because it's a very difficult hero to play. It's a very specialty hero, and it's not that meta to play in the off lane. It's a weird hero.
And it's one thing to like counter the Morphling once you get Ags, Mask of Madness later on in the game, but also knowing your limits early on and playing the 1v2 and being that low HP and manning up instead of running away.
Yeah,
these are the things you're surprised by, right?
Yeah, knowing that at 20% HP you can run in against a Morph and an Ogre and then not feed, that you have the armor, that you're actually going to win that trade is a very impressive thing.
His level 2 is
He's
actually level 3.
Yeah, level 2.
He had to do the
Yeah.
mental math of adding in an extra level.
Because I know Dota Plus levels are like a meme or whatever, but you know, you look at Team Falcons, like people actually do value them. It shows how much you play a hero. You know the numbers on it. So him knowing that much about ET is like either A, he's played it a lot in scrims, which I kind of doubt considering the interview that we just heard, or B, his natural instinct towards the hero, or just in general.
Maybe he watches a lot of
good,
replays. Maybe he's seen a lot more than what he's played.
I don't know, because I feel like you need to get the feeling for it.
Okay,
it really is like an instinct thing. Like, okay, I can win this trade. Or he's just a Giga Chad. And
I think he's a Giga Chad.
He's just like, screw it. I'm going to go in and die or kill them. And he happened to be right. There's a lot of potentials there. But in any case, it looked really good. He looked extremely solid on it.
Yeah, and now it's another hero that you have to be really wary of when coming up against PSG Quest, but also just something that could be on the rise throughout this whole tournament too. But right now, we want to move on to what you claim is one of your favorite moments
Play of the day.
Kadir, play of the day, Jenkins, but not you first. We're going to start off with Fear and his play of the day, because that one started quite early on in our day number 2 of group stage.
Yep. I mean, everybody loves a wombo combo, of course, and this is going to be the first play of the day here, where a lot of things happen, where the Roche fight is happening. And is this the one where, yeah, I think it'll show up a little bit later here, where we'll get a combination where the Clockwork, I believe, will be initiating in. But normally this happens after a Roche. Like, you get Roche right away, then you're like, oh, we're good. But the post-Roche fight can always get you off surprise. They set up for it right after that. Clockwork will hook in, sets up a nice little egg there too, but the real big black hole comes in next. And this is like a wombo combo, one of the biggest ones we've seen all day, and that's why it's my play of the day.
I love it. That was a fantastic play. I actually didn't get to see that one. Too busy getting ready for our panels. But BSJ, your one next. That one happened in the second series that we were both working on.
Yeah, and mine's going to be a neutral creep. Oh, wait, no, that's Jenkins. Sorry, Jenkins. Actually,
did you also choose a neutral creep?
No.
No, I did not choose a
Okay.
neutral
He
creep.
picked a legitimate
Because it
Kadir play
keeps
of the
happening.
day.
There's neutrals in this one. It's Chen.
No, so what's going to happen here is they're going to be on the side of GG. They're going to be ganking Yatro, and even though the game's quite a stomp, Yatro's going to attempt to TP out, and because they have no more ground targeting stuns, and he's aware of this, so he's going to use his first ultimate with the whole game and Gladiators coming in, and then he's going to use his second ultimate after he gets out of the root, or the shard, excuse me, and then he's going to try to TP, and the heads-up play coming out from Tofu here is he's going to be the Rubik with shard. He's going to lift his ally right now. He lifts up Duracho and cancels the TP. So these are just little moments where using these niche mechanics only when you have the shard. It's just really cool to see like the heads up awareness and that split second, always TPing, even though you can't even see him, you know he's doing it, and canceling it.
Yeah, it feels like it's hopeless. Like, we're not really sure how to cancel this, but Tofu on top of that one. Love it. Got the wombo combo. Got the very niche standout play from Tofu, and Jenkins as our third and final Kadia play.
What's yours about?
For my Katia play of the day, I thought it would be important that we watch the first 30 minutes of the game before this. So we're going to watch the entire game. Okay, I told them to go to start from the beginning. So of course we have Malik here chasing this Jakiro, who is doomed up, and Jinky walks in to the neutral creep. So the kind of lesson of the day here, ladies and gentlemen, is the house always wins. Remember that. The house will always win. Neutral creep is a third party led by Roshan and Gabe Newell. House always wins. Back to you, Sheaver.
Your friendly reminder.
Why are you laughing?
Friendly reminder that, yeah, the house always wins. Because that was your quote or what your take home from yesterday as well, was the house always wins.
That was the take home every day. That's been kind of the moral of the story here. The story of the tournament.
Yeah.
Fair.
I wanted to see how long Jenkins would go just talking, but it was some fantastic Kadia play of the days that you guys were able to spot out throughout all 3 series there. And let's actually see just how our standings are shaping up, because we had 3 series played on this main channel, but there were 4 games going on at once, and that leaves us with a very ever so slight change up in both Group A and Group B. OG and Spirit are out there in the lead for Group A. Heroic, Blacklist, LGD, and Gaiman sitting in the middle pack, whilst Aurora and Team Falcons right now are sitting in that 7th and 8th for elimination. On the flip side, Group B, they got a lot more games underneath their belt for today compared to yesterday, and Tundra 5-1, doing the best out of all groups. And then XG, wbg with that loss against Quest doesn't mean that they're tying with Entity. And then it's Liquid, BB Team, PSG, Quest, Beast Coast, and Mouse, unfortunately still with only 1 game win.
I'll just say that 14 of the 16 teams are somewhere between 4-2 and 2-4. So that's pretty crazy when you consider like the level of competition that we're at. I feel like historically Dota's always had like 6 or 8 teams that stand above the rest, and that's just not the case right now. And then we also have a bunch of play-in teams mixed and matched in there with
they're not
straight to group
right at the bottom.
Right, it's like the teams that played the play-ins either just got better over the later parts of the season, or the play-ins really help them learn the patch. But in whatever case, there's a lot of balance right now in the Dota sphere.
Yes.
Yeah, man, I definitely agree that like this patch in specific, the more games you play, typically the better you're going to be, especially in high-level competition, where all the teams that got directly seeded in, they were not necessarily from this patch, they're from like old patches. So the teams that did do well in the planes, they're good on this patch. And so they're going to be good in the group stage too, I believe.
Yeah, last year for Riyadh Masters, Liquid had to do the plans, and they ended up coming second. So I'm just saying, people might not want to have the underdog viewpoint of plans teams that, because they had to go through that pathway, they're going to be coming up against tougher opponents. There's scalability, and they might already be matching it. And let's see exactly when those teams will be playing tomorrow. Our schedule here on stream number D. We're going to go through this pretty quickly, so maybe if my analysts see a game that they like, they can shout it out and be like, that's the one that I wouldn't mind tuning into if I possibly could.
Game of Gladiators versus Blacklist. I want to see Quinn get angry at the crowd again. That was funny. I like that.
Falcons.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll be on the crowd for that one, but okay.
He's just going to get angry at it. The admins,
the thought of it.
the admins in the room with him.
I'm looking forward to the Tundra versus XG series. Those are the top 2 teams in their group.
True, 5 wins and then 4 wins respectively.
I just want to see Tundra on the mainstream. I'd love to see Thompson get some morphling mid flow morph going on.
Well, you know, tomorrow
Ame would have won.
Tomorrow is going to be OG predominantly on this stream, but you will see Gaming Gladiators eventually be playing in that crowd in the third and final series up against OG. So it could be some good ones. I feel like there's some hot moments between the players within these teams, you know? I know that. Why are you giving me that face?
Because I'm trying to think of what hot moments are happening between OG and Gaming. Is there beef that I don't know about?
Oh, maybe there's not. Maybe there.
Is there beef?
Maybe
I mean, there probably is. It's Seb. He's always got beef with everybody.
Yeah.
Beefing at someone.
I've heard what they've said along the grapevines of just you, and you know, I can only imagine what they're also
I did have beef with Seb at some point, actually.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I did.
Well, look, you're gonna have to save.
Later.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have to save that story, because right now we're closing out day number 2 of group stage. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some more thrilling Dota action for day number 3.
لحظات البداية عاشت معنا، كنا نحسبها وقت للتسلية بس، نحسبها بس ذكريات.
عبود أعطي أختك اليد يا ولد.
ابتكرنا فيها ابتكارات، وإذا بغينا قلبناها خرافات. كنا نحسبها بس لمة وصحبة وسهرات،
انتبه نوب ترى نوب.
لكن كنا نشوف عالم ما حد يشوفه.
ليت يشغل وقته بشيء يفيده.
الله عليك على اليد سود.
عالم كبر وعاش فينا، عالم الحماس فيه يوصلك كل مرة لحلم أصعب بس ما يصعب عليك. بارت معك وين ما تروح.